Hello, welcome back to the West Marches. Oh, wait, what? Hello! No, sorry.
Counter troll.
Good.
Can you do a Winnebago man?
I don't actually know what that is.
Okay.
We're gonna keep playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, so like you're in the tavern, you're having some drinks, you're eating some delicious, delicious meats roasted over the open fire in the tavern's common room here at the Spotted Ocelot. And what are you doing for the evening?
Well, if Dr. Grigori is buying, yes. I don't partake a lot because I don't have a lot of money to spare for alcohol. If he's buying alcohol, I am getting hammered.
Nice. Yeah. Does Grigori just like keep passing the mugs?
Yes, I will buy drinks for everyone in the party. I'm curious. Is Gallahan a drinking type, or are you just like, nay, sirrah, the Lord prohibits it. I shalt not imbibe of the booze. Do you drink?
Gallahan, I've seen him drink before, haven't you?
Strippin might be muted.
Nice.
I'm not. Hello?
He's just thinking. Do you drink, Gallahan?
Of course I drink.
Fuck yes, then we
drink into a stupor.
Nice. Like,
every night.
Grigori, if you spend another 4 gold, then you can get everybody rip-roaring drunk.
I fucking do it.
Nice. So yeah, you guys party late into the night.
Can we all do a Constitution saving throw to see who wins the drinking contest?
Who gets the most drunk? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to win. I want to win the drinking contest.
I'm in.
Yep. Good. So Constitution saves. Gallahan succeeds.
Drinking for everyone.
Gallahan outdrinks Kellen.
Oh no.
And Darius.
Oh no, Grigori and Darius.
The fastest.
Gallahan's the last one standing.
Wait, okay, so
everyone else is passed out.
Are there other people here in the?
Yeah, the tavern is doing decent business, but most of the attendants are like they're just civilian townsfolk, right? Like a couple of them are sort of looking at you sideways, like, who are these weirdos with all of this like weaponry and equipment? Like nobody else here has sort of like the traveling packs that you guys have.
I sort of stand up when I'm starting to really feel it. I stand up, I stumble up actually. I hit my foot on the back of the chair. I trip, but I catch myself, hopefully, I don't know. I catch myself and I walk over to like the bar. Is there a few people standing here?
Yeah, there's a couple people over the bar, and there's also a beautiful woman tending the bar. Her name is Mirie.
I take my cup.
Darius kind of like sort of like drunkily, sneakily trying to see what he's up to.
And I sort of just like, I cheers the woman behind the bar, and I turn my attention to the closest man. And I'm like, hey. And I just sloppily, like, my drink's going everywhere. I'm just like, hey, you come here often?
You know,
just
like,
completely ignoring the female if she's there, just completely like ignoring her, blowing her off.
He's been like holding up his finger for a while as she's been like walking up and down the bar, and he's sort of like trying to like elbow to the bar and like trying to like stare her in the eyes or whatever. You notice he doesn't have a drink, and you know you say hey, and he turns to you, says hey, and he like sort of like gives you the elevator eyes, like but not in a good way. He's like, what? Hi.
Hey Darius. Hey, Darius.
Yes, what Darius. Is it, Kellen?
That's a man. That's a man.
How can you tell?
I'm like on the table with Gregory, and I like nudge Gregory, and I'm like, 3 silver cock blocks. Cock blocks.
Tell you what.
Kellen, that's not very nice.
Sir,
she's very beautiful.
Sir, I am very sorry about my friend. He did not know you were a man.
Yeah, he turns to you
like a man to me.
I go, no, sir, I knew you were a man. Oh, trust me. And I do the whole like stare back as well. I'm like, yeah, I knew you were a man. And
he turns to the both of you. He's got like a close fitted like silk jerkin on, and it's like a bright green. And he's got like a cravat at his neck, and he's got his hair is like pulled back into like a thick black man bun. He's got like a very square chiseled jaw. He's got like piercing blue eyes, and he looks at the two of you. He says, "Excuse me, I'm just trying to get a drink."
Well, me too. And I sort of like I pass my drink off to Kellen, and I signal, hopefully trying to convince the bartender to come over to us, and serve the both of us drinks. So now Kellen has 2 drinks, and
she comes over right away, and she's all smiles. You know, she's very attractive. She has like blonde curled hair. She's wearing a blue satin dress or satin, whatever, something sort of shiny and shimmery. She heads over. She says, "Hi, what can I get for you?"
And I say, "Hello, beautiful. Me and my friend here, we want a drink. Just what? I don't know what.
I have 2 drinks.
Kellen.
Well,
I have 2 drinks.
now you're flirting with the right person. Heteronormativity restored.
Yeah. She smiles and she says 2 drinks coming right up, and she brings you. Like, are you looking for wine, ale, mead, whatever?
Obviously.
Mead. Okay, yeah. Like, she brings you two mugs of mead, and she sets them down in front of you. And the man next to you says, thanks, stranger. I've been trying to get her eye for a while, and I guess I'm just not her type." And then he just sort of like nudges you.
Darius, tell
well,
him what we did out there. Tell him what we did on the road. Tell him that'll press him. That's good.
You're
getting cock blocked by you, Kellen. I'm getting cock blocked.
You've been traveling.
So that's the second time that Gregory has heard that phrase, and I'm sitting next to Galhan, and I'm like, explain to me what is this block of cocks? I don't understand. That are not normally more spherical. You have strange chicken in this world.
I'm like, just watch. You'll get it. Just keep watching.
Are these birds for killing with stone? Like before we were saying?
Let me teach you something, Gregory. All right.
I like push Kellen back to it.
Darius is a different kind of thirsty. Not for mead. You get what I'm saying? And Kellen, he's just gonna
what?
He's gonna get in. I'm not talking to you.
You said my name though.
He's gonna block it.
The people at the tables around you sort of get up and like finish their drinks and sort of wander away. You notice there's like an area around you where there's just nobody.
Is that guy in front of us? Has he left yet?
No, he's like chatting with you. He's like, "Oh, you traveling? Like, where are you from?"
He said that he couldn't catch the waitress's eye. That's when I turn and say, "Well, you caught my eye," and just make it completely fucking awesome.
Yeah, he just like, he sort of blushes, like he's like looking in your eye, and you just see his face turn red.
So Steven, while this is happening, I want to look around. Is this guy in the tavern by himself, or was he with other people and he got up to get a drink?
Give me a perception check.
Okay, because I don't want his friends.
A perception check at disadvantage because you're shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty drunk. Yeah, I mean that's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, like there's like sort of a crush of people up at the bar. You can't really tell if he's with anybody or alone. But there's nobody. There's nobody like right next to him who seems like obviously with him or anything like that. He sort of he turns to you, Darius. He says, that's. Yeah, do you want to have a seat? You have a drink? Yeah, you just got. Do you want to go sit down?
Gregory, show him your eye for hunting. I did a thing with you.
Kellen, are you back like sitting down at Gregory's place?
I was just saying, I walk over to Kellen. I put my arm around him, and I'm like, hey, Kellen, stop penis intercepting. Come back to table. And I lead Kellen back over to the table. But as I go, Darius, I give you a look like be careful. And then
okay.
I'm like, and I just get 3 silver and chuck it at Gregory.
I don't know why I don't do that.
Ruined it.
So yeah, Darius, he starts leading you, like he sort of turns in one direction and then he says, "Wait, I see an empty table over in the corner," and he leads you back over.
How far away is it from the others?
I mean, it's sort of across the room, across the common room.
Okay, I like as Grigori is walking away, I put my hand and I like nod drunkenly, like I know what I'm doing. And I follow him back to the table, start talking, have a conversation with him, of course.
Of course.
And I don't tell him anything about me. Like when he asks, well, obviously people probably have already. Have you guys yelled my name? I don't think anyone said my name in front of him yet.
No.
So I tell him that my name is Michael, and
Michael.
yes, and that I'm just a traveler. I hunt out in the woods. That's why I carry a bow for nearby animals. I don't tell him anything about what we've done, even though Kellen kind of was like, tell him about it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him about that.
Yeah, like his name is Giles.
Giles.
And
okay.
he's kind of a middle class merchant in town. He just sort of buys and sells goods, tries to find good prices and sell them at a profit, stuff like that. He starts sort of like talking on a little bit about like, price of silk versus the price of linen. One is higher in this time of season because of whatever flax, blah blah blah. But
Lennon.
he's getting a little drunk. He's enjoying himself.
And I obviously, if our drinks are starting to get low, I ask for 2 more and lean in and I say silk. You said silk. I've been searching for silk. I heard that there was someone was having trouble keeping it in supply or they were losing it. Can you tell me can you tell me anything about that?
He's nodding. He says, "Oh yeah. It's been weeks since we've had our delivery. We got silk delivered from a town nearby in the Udridge Mountains, and hasn't come through for 2 weeks."
And is I'm getting sort of drunk and scatterbrained, and I'm like, 2 weeks. These are good drinks. Mountains. What's over there? Like what?
That's a town called Tea Falls. Up in the mountains. They produce silk. Really small place, kind of like an enclave or kind of solitary. They don't take well to outsiders, but they make good cloth. Yeah. But Cybeth, silk merchant, she's really having a hard time with them recently. Maybe they're reconsidering prices. I don't know. Are you a merchant?
Oh no! I'm just a buyer. I'm just searching for it. I kind of pull some of the fine clothing from under my leather armor to show him.
He reaches across the table and like feels it, but it's very obvious that he's brushing his fingers against your chest as he does it. And he says, "Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, I see why you're interested." I swish my hair back
and I. Oh really? So, where are you staying tonight?
He smiles, he leans in, he says, "Well, my house is pretty near here."
Do you have room for 4?
Darius! Darius!
I only have 1 bed.
Darius!
I'm gonna need another drink. My round, boys. I get up and shuffle to the bar.
Can you guys actually hear me from here? Are we being that loud?
I can hear you, but I'm.
You can hear us. You can see us clearly.
Yeah, we can see.
And I know being drunk myself, I like, where's my friends at? Oh, there's one. I gotta get their attention.
And I'm like trying to ignore Kellen because he's yelling the wrong name, and I'm just like, shh. Keep it down. And then I'm sure does Kellen catch the drunk or no? Does what is his name? Giles. Yeah.
Like, he seems pretty, like, he's ready to kind of get out of here. He's willing to let a lot of things slide.
Can I leave with them?
Totally.
I leave with them then.
I
get up. I kind of nod to I nod to Grigori and Gallahan, and Kellen's a little too drunk and stumbling around. I don't know where he is right now.
Yeah. Cool. Like you head back to his house. He did say he only had 1 bed.
What's going on?
So, what do the rest of you do for the evening?
Oh my god, if there wasn't a paladin in the party, I would just be like, we should follow this guy, he's a merchant, let's fucking roll his house and take all his stuff, but I won't. I keep an eye on anyone who follows them out. Like, if they leave and anybody leaves after them, I keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, okay. You, as soon as they leave the door, there's a young woman, curly black hair, who like runs to the door and opens it and looks outside, and then you see her sort of like turn back to look inside, and her eyes are filled with tears, and her lips are sort of quivering a little bit, and then she just heads back to one of the tables inside, and she sits down, and there's like a couple of men and a couple of women sitting at a large table she sits down at, and one of the women sort of like reaches over, hugs her, and she sobs into this other woman's shoulder.
Oh
no! What did I do?
Did you guys see that just now?
Yes, it's a complicated dance of human emotion.
I don't know what 3 of those words are.
I give Gregory a sobering look from the bar and like nod towards the table and see if he's on the same wavelength.
I'm not picking up what you're putting down. What do you want?
I just like sigh and like drop my shoulders and I just grab the 3 beers and take them back to the table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think if it looks like Darius is like safe, then we just drink and I sleep eventually.
Yeah.
I probably once the like tension of that goes away, I probably bust out the balalaika and start playing. And
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, as soon as you bust out the balalaika, people around you start getting really into it. Like you see like, a couple of these women from this other table come over and just sit down sort of clapping and laughing and, sort of enjoying what you're playing.
I'll try and teach the villagers like a song in my like native tongue.
Yeah, okay.
But
they butcher it, but they're all singing along. And
but the actual song is like a prayer to one of the like dark gods or something.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and get them all like, no, it's good song from my homeland. Let's play.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
like play it and I teach them the chant and stuff. But
yeah, that's great. Okay, so like we fade down on the evening. Y'all all take a long rest. Does anybody want to have a scene? Well, I guess it needs to be Darius actually who has a scene now. So it can be anything you want. It can be happening now. It could be happening in the past.
It's gonna be a flashback.
Now, come on.
Oh,
No,
wow.
not now.
I want to hear about it.
I was gonna plan actually a flashback to the past,
Okay.
just to describe a little bit about him. Like he's really good at deceiving and obviously persuading as well. It's something he developed. He did come from a rich family, but a lot he kind of shows that through some clothing, but it's did he steal that? Nobody really knows. He doesn't really tell. But he was always alone because his parents were never really home. He was raised by a nanny who didn't like him. And so they were in a big house, many rooms, and so he's alone in this giant, like, just void of a building, pretty much. And so he constantly...
Is it kind of like Victorian Gothic England manor sort of thing?
Yeah, and it's really large, and, big yard. They had servants of sorts, and so he never really had to do anything besides go do his studies, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so every day he would, like, pretend to be someone else just to entertain himself.
Nice.
And so if you flash forward to where he is now, when he goes out to parties and all that, he'll tell a different story of who he was. And it's usually flashing back to his childhood when he pretended to be different things. And, he'll say things like he saved a baby from a burning building, or that, he grew up a beggar on the streets and had to make his way by working whenever he was just a child.
Do we see like maybe like a smash cut of Darius like seducing a number of men with like a different story every time?
Well, he will seduce women as well if it's to his advantage.
So like
And-
either gender.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so he, like, the whole thing that just happened, he said he was Michael, and probably gave a little bit of a backstory that was just completely untrue. And just to appeal to each person, he really tries to persuade them to think that that's who he is.
Nice. So he's like tailoring his identity to each person that he meets.
Yeah.
Got it.
Has it ever backfired?
Has it backfired? If anything, it's probably gotten him into a couple fights at bars and stuff with people who he can't persuade very well. And
so he turns the charm on for the wrong person, gets the shit kicked out of him.
Well, most guys just tend to laugh, but I'd say that it backfired the worst whenever he hit on a woman, and that woman had a husband nearby. And so that backfired.
That either says a lot about the world, or you've been very lucky that that's the worst backfiring.
Yeah.
So
I think, well, that's the thing. He's really good at deceiving people and persuading them to believe him, and so that's why perhaps, he convinced a giant blob lady, monster lady, to go into a giant serpent mouth. So.
Yep, it's true.
And so he's pretty good with his words, and reading people.
So do you ever lose track of who you actually are? Like pretending to be someone else so often? Is it ever like, who really am I?
I think that's the point. He wants to lose track of who he is because he hated his childhood, and that's why he ran away.
Cool. So Darius is that even your real name?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
So he does that, but he will.
You're working on it, but you're not very good at forgetting your. Okay.
Well, to be fair, he likes the name Darius, so.
Right. Okay.
Nice. Okay, so Darius, you get inspiration, which I think you already have.
I do.
So you keep it, and then Gallahan gains inspiration for asking that first question.
Yeah.
Cool. So the night passes uneventfully. Darius, you wake up, in the strong embrace of this attractive,
bigger than me?
chiseled-jawed man. Yeah. I mean, like you're a little bit diminutive, right? But he's got a broad chest. He's like maybe like late 20s, kind of, he works outside. He doesn't obviously have like a bear sort of style or looks to him.
So you've seen. I mean, if we're gonna draw the analogy, you've seen Grigori naked. That's a much stronger.
It's not Grigori. I mean, he keeps himself
Okay.
well. I mean, he imagine like the kind of guy you see on the cover of a romance novel.
There we go. That's perfect.
That's what he looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
And the others of you wake up in the morning in your beds, in your rooms at the inn. There's like a hot breakfast laid out for each of you just outside the doors. You paid for the high class experience. So what's the plan for today?
Go talk to the merchant. And
Oh, you know what?
I'm assuming none of us know except Darius at this point.
Well, I guess I would wake up and I would try to sneak out. Try to sneak out of the guy's place early, so that way we can go. Because I know I'm like trying to sober up a little, maybe a little hungover, but I'm trying to sober up because I remember what the guy told me yesterday.
Yeah. Go ahead and
stealth roll.
Yeah, do a stealth roll to see if you get out.
Oh
of there.
God.
Hey, where are you going? Where you going?
Okay, so it's +5.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God.
Okay, you sort of get up and the bed creaks and you step on a floorboard that creaks and the guy sort of rolls over and sort of like brushes his eyes, his long hair sort of like spreads out on the pillows. He looks at you and says, good morning, Michael. Where are you going?
I stopped kind of confused for a second and I'm like, I was just gonna go get some breakfast. I'm a little... And I feign like I have just a terrible hangover, terrible headache from the night before. And I'm like pulling on my clothing, I guess, putting on my armor and fastening it. And I was like, I just need to go hunting for a bit, bring back some, just some squirrel or deer, whatever I can find.
Yeah, he says, yeah, hunting. Why don't you go after round 2?
Oh my God. I sort of sigh and I'm like, I really need some food first. I need to get my strength back up. Last night was, it was good. It was good. It was a little tense, but it was good.
You're telling me. Yeah, no, hey, that's no problem. Listen, I can make us some breakfast. You were trying to ask about Cybeth, is that right?
Yes, I was. I immediately, I don't even pause. It's yes, Cybeth, yes.
I love that this guy has like a little bit of like a Keanu Reeves voice.
Whoa. Yeah. Listen, why don't I make us some pancakes and we can go see if she's setting up shop in an hour or two.
I have to take a moment to think. Sure, why not? Sure. Pancakes sound great.
Yeah.
Hopefully the edible, the food kind.
Yeah, so, he gets up, he stretches, and, starts pulling on his clothes, heads downstairs. He's in like a nice little 2-story house in the middle of town, and, he stokes the fire, places a cast iron griddle on it, starts making some pancakes. What do the rest of you do in the morning when you wake up?
Well, I don't get any gay sex pancakes. That's for fucking sure. Where am I?
Yeah, right.
I probably like wake up and like I'm not in the right room or something. Like I ended up asleep, like on the floor. In Kellen's room.
Yeah.
I'm like, I probably woke up, tried to go downstairs. I smelled the food. I don't want anything to do with it.
Nice.
And outside the inn and just slumped down by the front door of the inn with my back against the wall and just waited for death.
Yeah, there's like a large pig that comes grunting over, and it's like so it's like nudging your face.
So I want to come out of the inn then, and I've got 2 like big mugs of ale with me, and I look down and I see Kellen. I'm like, "Good morning, princess," and I like give him the mug.
Yeah. Do you take it, Kellen?
I can't. Will it help?
Yes, it's
All right, you're the
old
doctor.
remedy. Yeah, hair of dog. What's biting you? Drink.
I come bumbling out behind Gregory, and I'm like holding one myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Doc, you ain't got anything for this headache out here, honestly.
So I think that like we spent a minute drinking, and I see the pig, and I'm like, oh, piggy. I had the pig once. Sad story.
Nice. So
I want to start crying just because.
let's why don't we smash cut forwards to when Darius is talking with Cybeth.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I've
had a beer. I feel better.
Yeah.
Am I there with Giles?
Yeah, Giles is there. He sort of walks up to where Cybeth is setting up her cart, which is on the sort of cobblestone area. She's got this like large oaken cart that's pulled by a massive draft horse. She's got a number of like bolts of cloth in the back. This cart has some sort of awning that she can just sort of like fold up and out in order to create sort of a sail space for her. She's got a number of goods for sale. But Giles walks up, sort of clears his throat, gets her attention. She looks over at the two of you and focuses on you, Darius. She says, an early customer? Hello, good morning. I'm not quite open yet, still getting set up. Are you looking for something specific?
I'm running my hands along like the cart and the things on it. Just sort of feeling, just curious. And whenever she calls to me, I adjust like my bow and stuff, and I was like, well, Giles here was telling me that you've been having troubles in the Udridge Mountains.
And she sort of like, looks at Giles a little bit, and Giles sort of like runs his hand through his hair a little bit sheepishly, kicks the dirt. She says, Giles was telling you. Yes, well, I guess word does get around. I was trying not to make too big a deal out of it, but yes, my most recent shipment of silk hasn't come in. I negotiate with the sellers in T-Falls, and they haven't delivered. It's been 2 weeks since my last delivery, which is much longer than I usually go, and I'm completely out. So if you're looking for silk, then you'll have to look elsewhere. I suggest T-Falls.
And
She sort of turns around, goes back to like setting up her stuff.
And I'm nodding as she's talking, and then I'm like, well, I am looking for silk, and perhaps, what if I went and got it back for you?
Got it back? From T-Falls?
Found where it was, located it, and brought the shipment.
You want to like, you no offense, friend, but you don't look terribly threatening. I don't know.
Can all 3 of us come in now? Like,
we're bumbling up the street at this point.
You see me standing next to Giles, of course. Just standing next to him.
You've each got like mugs of ale at your
3 heavily armed, beer stinking dudes just walk in. We're like, "What did someone say dangerous?"
Yeah, she seems pretty surprised at your approach. Says, are you with this gentleman? What was your name again? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. She turns to you, Darius.
And before they can, I try to speak before everyone else, and I go, Michael. It's Michael.
This is a good guy NPC. Gives the liar a nice big opening.
Michael, are these men with you?
Yes, they are my friends.
With the loose term, based on last night, we are comrades.
Nice.
Companions.
Yeah.
She sort of puts her hands on her hips, says, well, yeah, you look like you'll do. Yeah. If you go and find out what's happening to my silk, I could I'd be interested in paying for that service. Yep.
Look like we will do. Woman, I will have you know we slew a basilisk yesterday.
And I try to wave. I'm like, shh, 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 shh. She's very
Giles,
No,
Giles
no, it's
says-
good. It's good accomplishment. Very
Giles
difficult.
said, slew a basilisk. And the woman
Yes.
sort of echoes, slew a basilisk?
And then I put my hand on Giles and I'm like, I told you I like to hunt.
Is there echo in here? Yes, it's slew basilisk.
He sort of looks at you and sort of like steps close and says, "Do you use a spear?"
Says that to who?
To Darius.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Wow. and I at first I blush and I look back at the others and I'm like, no, I use my bow. I do have a rapier though.
Giles just sort of like his eyebrows raise. He says, "Well, if that's what you're into."
I slap Cal and Gregory on the backs, and I'm like, "Whoop!" and I just walk straight out.
I'm right behind them.
So,
You know,
yeah,
it seems-
I'll say to Darius before I leave too. I'm like, okay, time for innuendo is over. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I nod. I say my goodbyes to Giles and I nod to the woman and I walk off.
Yeah. You know, we're sort of past the part where she told you any details about, you know, stuff. There is a road that leads west through the Udrin foothills to the Udridge North Fork, and it leads straight to T-Fall. She thinks that, you know, she's of the impression that probably her cellar has just gotten cold feet or something, but she's not ruling out the possibility of foul play along the road between here and there. And she's offering a prize of 50 gold pieces each for the safe return of her goods.
That is so many beers. Let's do this thing.
That's so many beers.
All right. So y'all are setting out right now today?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's actually still raining today. You guys all... I'm kind of assuming that you guys managed to find some kind of cloaks or something like that to wrap yourselves up
Oh
in.
yeah, I've got a cloak for sure.
Yeah. If y'all want to actually stop here at the market as things are getting opened up and like purchase tents, you can do that too.
So
How much are the tents?
Let me see exactly how much they are.
Sorry.
I was just imagining while it was raining, like I was still sitting like outside of the inn, and it's just raining on me.
Yeah.
And it's just like cuddling with this pig.
Yeah, the
around
pig
head.
puts its head in your lap and it's sort of it's smiling up at you with its big pig eyes.
You like kiss it occasionally.
Yeah, buddy.
Two-person tent costs 2 gold.
Yeah, this is what life is. Glorious highs, terrible low, and you wake up and your only friend is pig.
I like you, Grigori. You're a very funny and helpful, and you're a good friend.
2-person tent is 2 gold pieces.
All right,
I'll pay for one.
Okay,
I'll get one too.
cool. Are y'all just gonna get 2 tents, share them?
Yeah.
Is anyone? Is anyone
Galahad,
comfortable staying in my-
may I bunk with you, Galahad?
Yeah, I probably smell better than a pig, so life of luxury for you.
Thank you. Well, I think I don't know if Darius wants to. Never mind.
How heavy is the tent? If you have it open there, Steven, what's the weight?
It is 20 pounds.
Hot dag. Okay. Cool. Good. I'm not encumbered yet.
Cool.
Okay.
Wait, how do you check and see if you're encumbered?
My character sheet does it for me automatically.
That's so fancy. I'll spend some time after the show tonight setting up character sheets for everybody else.
Sweet.
So that we all have our stuff in Roll20. It'll be super fancy. And you guys can all have fancy rolls like Grigori.
Mm-hmm.
All right, excellent. So is it the same rolls that you guys are doing?